welcome to another Plan With Me. Today we are going to be filming the 16th through the 22nd, and I'm finally caught up on Plan With Me's. For this video, we are using this Moana 2 kit. I've still not seen Moana 2. I think I've only probably even watched Moana 1 like one time. I've got my custom Maltese in font 11, and then I do have a build your own bundle in confetti gold. This, I'm using confetti headers. These are the standard things. We have the palm leaves washi, mixed overlays, and then the tropical 2 underlays, which I'm very excited to see laid down. We are gonna just jump right on into it. There's no tall box, so we will need 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 boxes. We've got 8, 9, 10, and then I'll probably use one of these because the one on the washi sheet would be good for a quote, and I just don't have any quotes to use. So that's essentially the whole ding dong setup. How are you guys? This is video 2 that I'm filming today. Video 3rd Plan With Me in the last 24 hours. I let myself get so far behind, but I want to get caught up because the time of filming this, next week is my shop anniversary sale, and I want to be super ahead on having videos scheduled over on my Plannahannah channel, which I won't be super ahead. I'll be very honest with you. I'll be like mediocrely ahead, like a week or 2, but it's all good. It's better than how behind I am on Plan With Me's. I'm going to use the days of the week from my shop. These are in font choice 5 unfoiled. Then I will use the date numbers that come in the foil bundle, which are also in font 5, but they will be in the color of the bundle, which is confetti gold. And then the hole protectors I'm going to use are hole choice 3, again in confetti gold. I literally cannot fathom that we are so close to July. Where did this year go? Like, is anybody else just genuinely unsure how we got here? Because that's truly how I'm feeling right now. I'm like, not really sure how this is a possibility. That we're halfway to Christmas. Crazy. And halfway through 2025. 2024/2025 have been really tragic years in my life. Like, not really stellar years for me mentally. So I'm just like kind of ready to keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But let's get into what happened this week. And this week I'll at least have some memory of what happened. Because the other Plan With Me's, when I was filming like 2 Plan With Me's ago, I'm just like, this was like 3 weeks ago. I do not know that, Hannah. But this past week, on Monday, we did our classic post office drop, and then we got lunch. We actually did something different this day for lunch. Chris wanted to go to this place called the Emerald Tavern, which it's like a restaurant slash like board game playing place, board game bar. You can like order food, and then you can like pay either $5 for one game or $10 for a day pass to like borrow games essentially and play them. We actually didn't end up playing anything because the selection was kind of crapola, but Chris really wanted to go, and it was like cute that like he planned for us to like go do this. He was really excited about it. And when I hit him with the like, I'm like, are you gonna be mad if I don't want to play anything? Because like any of the games that they have that like I'm interested in, either like I own or like I've already played them and I don't care to play them again. And the food was not very good either. It was overall like the place was a very like 2 out of 5, but like it was fun to go do that with him. So we did that, and then we went and got groceries, and then I came home and started the laundry. I did a bunch of filming. I read, which let me pull up my Goodreads so I can tell you what I was reading as of the 16th. Yes. I was listening to, or no, I didn't listen to anything this day. I was working on reading With a Vengeance by Riley Sager. I was reading that physically and annotating it, and that kind of process always takes like a bit longer, so I was doing that, and then I watched some Love Island. When I wrote binge watch, it was for sure Love Island. Tuesday, I worked. I got a Skip the Line copy of Jeremy Renner's new book called My Next Breath. So I did just listen to that real quick. It was a very short audiobook. I think it was like 7 hours or something. And it was like under 300 pages. And I listened to audiobooks at like 2 to 3 times speed. So flew right through that. Then I started listening to the audiobook of Well Met, which will be in an upcoming YouTube comments pick my TBR video. And I did finish With a Vengeance, which will be in its own like spoiler filled video, so be excited for that because it's a coming, baby. Then I did some editing, not a lot. I just did like my kind of like editing that I had to do, which was my vlog and I think a beachy girlies vlog. I got those done, and then I watched YouTube and binged more Love Island because I have a problem, and I was like not gonna watch this season if I'm being honest for it with you, but then YouTube was really dry and I had nothing to watch, so I was like, okay, like let me put this bullshit on, and I of course got sucked into the bullshit. I thought I was kind of over the show because like last year's Love Island UK, like I just could not get into it. I don't know what the deal was, and I tend to like US the least out of like UK, Australia. I usually like it in the order of UK, then Australia, then USA. And so I don't know what it is, but this year's been just like so fucking mess-tastic, and I love it. I'm eating it up. I'm eating it up. So Wednesday I had a very lazy morning. I was up way too late. I was fucking exhausted. So I was just laying in bed being a bum. And I talked to my dad on the phone, and while I was on the phone with him, I went for a walk. I was like, I'm gonna go for a walk while I'm on the phone with you to like get the blood pumping, wake myself up a bit. So I did that, which was good. I watched some YouTube. Oh my god, I read, but I forgot to put the script on there. That's interesting. I did read. I wrote an oops snap. Like I didn't mean to take a nap, but it just happened. So it's kind of tragic. This kit does have 2 scenes, so technically this is kind of a scene, but we're gonna be splitting up Hey Hey and Pua. Actually gonna put this scene over here because I feel like there's gonna be a lot of the sandy boxes in the sidebar, so we'll put this sandy scene over here. Perfect. So yeah, I did that, which was horrible. I accidentally took like a 2 or 3 hour nap in the evening, like from like 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. or some dumb shit like that. It was so silly. And then I watched more Love Island. Thursday, or what was I reading on Wednesday, the 18th? I finished Well Met, which was lovely, and I started reading and physically annotating Great Big Beautiful Life, the new Emily Henry book, which was book club pick for June, so there will be a full spoiler video up for that as well. I have a perfect pair to film after this, followed by new releases, and then I need to take pictures for new releases and film some reels for new releases, and then I also need to do a graphic for Facebook being like, here's the new release detail, or new releases, hee. So I'm gonna do all of that like in between while I'm waiting for videos to render, but once I'm done with that, I will be getting to my editing, you know what I'm saying? But Thursday, and that will be one of the videos that gets edited. So I did do that, and then I also started listening to the audiobook for a book called Sandwich, which will be in episode 3 of my friend's Pick My TBR, which is my friend Christy's episode. Okay. So, moving on to Thursday, I worked, of course, and I read, of course. I finished Sandwich, and then I started listening to the audiobook of, well, I listened to all of the audiobook for Forget Me Not by Julie Soto, which is going to be in episode 2 of reading books I bought because of booktubers. And then I started the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. I'm like in the middle of so many videos right now. It's really like chaotic. But this is going to be for the My Friends Pick My TBR Kirsten episode, which is going to be episode 5. So it's basically like things come through as like my Libby holds. And so like then I start reading that, you know what I mean? And so that's why it's like kind of all over the place. It's not like all over the place on purpose. Oops, I did not mean to start this, but you know, that's just how it goes. And then I did some filming. I baked this thing that's for, I was gonna say it's also for that video, but I talked about it in my other clip. It's basically for a video where I will be... There's this series of books by an author called Joanne Fluke, where essentially they're like these cozy murder mysteries, and it's about this girl named Hannah, and she owns a bakery called The Cookie Jar, and within the book they like talk a lot about like her desserts and stuff, and then there's recipes. As the series gets deeper, there's more recipes per book, but I was reading one of them, the second book too, and I know that in some of the later books there's like other recipes that aren't just sweet. There's like savory recipes. So when we get to those books, I'll probably make 3 things, but when it's just a million sweet treats, I truly cannot make like 3 sweet treats, but I did make the second sweet treat this day, which was called a chocolate Highland cookie bar, which you'll see all about that in the video. Then we did get McDonald's and I watched Love Island. Friday, we had a really fabulous lunch date with the Raver family. Chris and I met them for hibachi. It was like me, Chris, and Nick and Andrea and the 3 kids. And it was a blast. I sat between Lila and Theo because they both wanted to sit with me. They know what's cool, and that is me. And then whenever I got home, I did some work and I did read. I was continuing to listen to the Southern Book Club's Guide for Slaying Vampires. Can we look at how diagonal I put this sticker down? It's just a reminder. It's just stickers. It doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. But I'm leaving it. I'm leaving it. Truly. But yeah. So basically, that was that. And then I was getting a ton of packages this day, and like from my office window I can see when somebody's approaching, and I saw like the mailman approaching, and I could see like the slip of paper that's like the you need to sign for this, and I was like, what the heck do I need to sign for? So I got up, went to answer the door when he rang the bell, and it was our Gen Con badges. Woo! Super exciting. So our badges came in the mail, which I'm very excited about. And then we got McDonald's, I believe. I do believe we got McDonald's. And then we went and had game night over at Andrea's house, which was a blast. And then Saturday, I worked and I read. I did finish listening to the Southern Book Club's Guide for Slaying Vampires. And then I began listening to the audio book for The Fourth Monkey Killer for my episode 2 of reading books I bought because of booktubers. And then Chris brought me home Panda Express, which like I've been super off Panda Express because the last like many times I've had it, it's been horrifyingly disgusting. But I got kind of like a hankering and it ended up being pretty decent. So maybe the ick has been lifted. So we did get Panda Express. I watched a bunch of YouTube. Pua is just so cute. I can't take it. And then I was just very tired. Then Sunday I did work and read. I finished listening to The Fourth Monkey Killer, and then I did begin reading this graphic novel called The Magic Fish, which is also for my like booktuber episode 2. Bought books because of booktubers nonsense. The nonsense, you know? So that was essentially that. I need lotion right now or I'm going to flip out. I don't know what it is, but like if I start thinking about how dry my hands are, I have to stop what I'm doing and put lotion on or I can't focus. But yeah, so that was the last thing I read for this week. And then I got us Dairy Queen for lunch. I needed to run to the store to get wrapping paper for my anniversary sales, like a whole thing. It's done happened by the time you guys see this, okay? So I ran to the store, talked to my dad while I was on my adventure. I called him. So I did that, and I went to Dairy Queen, and then we did have, it was like actually kind of very chaotic. We were gonna like maybe do my D&D campaign this day because of like a bunch of reasons, and then that ended up falling through, and then we're like, okay, like whatever. I was like, that's fine. Like I really did not care either way. It was not like a big deal type of falling through. It was just like, what's going on? But then Andrea's like, wait, do you guys just want to come over and have a game night? And then we're like, hell yeah, baby. So we ended up going over and we had a super fun game night. It's like, I love doing stuff with our whole group. Don't get me wrong. Live, laugh, love, everybody. But there is a but. There's a lot of games that we can't play because the player count only goes to 4. So it is nice to every once in a while do a 4-player game night because there's games, the games that only go up to 4 typically is just me and Andrea playing them. But like we played, for example, the Mistborn deck building game, and like Chris loves the book, like the Mistborn book. So it was fun to get to like play it with him because he is like a fan of the like fandom. He's part of the fandom. So getting able to play it with him was a blast. But we wouldn't be able to with the whole group because it only goes up to 4 people. Yeah. And I just think that's rude. I think every game should have an expansion for more people. Because like, I mean, I never would have thought in my life, I was never somebody who had a lot of friends, but I never in my life would have been like, oh my god, I have more friends than are able to play my game. It's crazy. We also got a message on BG Girlies this day from this bookstore, Larkin Owl, where Andrea sells ScribblePrintsCo stickers. So if you're ever nearby Larkin Owl, you best go buy some. But basically, Andrea had put some of our business cards in with her SPC business cards, like our board game girly ones, and they messaged us and were like, hey. They didn't realize like it was Andrea, I don't think, but they were just kind of like, hey, would you guys be interested in hosting some like game nights here? And I was just like, and we were like, okay, so we might be doing that, which would be very interesting to like host a game night. Oh my gosh, feels crazy. So it's pretty interesting. And then whenever I got home, I just watched I did watch one episode of Love Island because at this point I was unfortunately caught up. So I didn't really have anything to binge, so I watched the one episode that came out on Sunday. I also don't watch After Sun because I just like don't care. But I watched the one episode that came out, and then I watched some YouTube, and then I went to Betty Byland. So Chris has been like fucking with the air, and like I'm used to my house being like nice and chilly, and it's like kind of warm in here right now, and I'm not. I'm just not live, laugh, loving that at all. I think that the confetti gold was a good choice. I am kind of like late to the game on using this kit. I know a lot of people used it for the movie, and just based on like the foil that people bought that was Moana themed, I think a lot of people went with coral or matte bronze. I refer to it as matte boring because I don't like that color. I think it's kind of boring color, but I just almost called it that, LOL. But I feel like a lot of people used a matte bronze and coral with this, which for sure makes sense. Like, looks amazing with this kit, for sure, without a shadow of a doubt. Agreed, it's a great choice, but it's just not my choice. And I was worried that the confetti gold might not look nice, but it does. It looks real nice. It looks real cutesy. Really fantabulous, and I love it. So I'm excited for how this is looking. Moana is for sure not a favorite princess of mine. It's one of Chris's favorites. Chris's favorites are Mulan, Merida, and I think Moana. He just likes those M girls apparently. But I think it's like okay. It's like fine. But I do think that this spread is really cute, and it makes me think of Lila because she went through a big old Moana 11 stage. But like I think the song I probably know the most from Moana is the shiny song, because I use it on reels sometimes because foily stuff is shiny. But I don't really even know like the songs from Moana. That's how like little I've watched it. But that's everything for the base. Let's zoom in for the day by day. Okay, we are ready to rock and roll, baby. So first things first is gonna be post office drop, of course. It tends to be. You're in for a real jump scare for next week because I forgot to bring the mail in the morning and I had to bring it in the evening, like the afternoon. I brought it out like 2. But I was like driving to the grocery store and I'm like, or to lunch, and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot we needed to go to the post office. And Chris is like, oh. I'm like, oopsie, whatever. It was fine. It still went out the correct day. So all's well ends well end up with you. Okay. So we are gonna grab the mini envelope from the mini icons sheet. Then I'm going to grab Lottie with her fork and knife because that was me and Chris. Then groceries, grocery cart icon, and then a laundry basket icon. Ow, oh my God, I just fucking stabbed myself so, oh, that hurt with my tweezers. Ow. Okay, and then again, I'm using font choice 11 if you forgot. Grab P.O. Drop with Chris, groceries, and laundry. Okay, then we'll move down here and I'm gonna mark filming. Use red. We're gonna use this for filming. Then I will use a page flag for reading, and then I will use a little thing for binge watching. The patterns in this kit are really fun. I quite enjoy those. So for filming, I'm gonna use a filming camera icon from My Little Things, and as you can see, even though they're made for little things, they look fabulous, even on labels. And then we're gonna use this like fanned out book for reading, and then I'm going to use the TV from the mini icons sheet, which there are full sheets of them. There's full sheets of quite a few of the icons. If there are any you're looking for and you can't find them in the shop, let me know and I can make them happen for you. And then I am going to use the binge watch from the foil bundle, so that's going to be in font choice 5, just so you know, because it's going to be a wee bit different. If I can find it. There we go. Binge watch. Okay. Up here, I'm going to mark work and read. Very simple. Work and read, baby. For work, I'm gonna grab a Lottie on the computer, and then for reading, we will grab something reading related. Sure, we will use this, which is like the audiobook icon, because I was for sure listening to audio. Oh my God, I meant to change my battery before I started this. Okay, I'm gonna put these scripts in, and then we're gonna change our camera battery. This is gonna be a big struggle of my maximum filming, like the max filming that I need to do today, is my battery repeatedly dying. So hopefully we're able to finish this and my next video on this battery. I should be. This is my better battery. It's my name brand battery. My other one's off brand and it dies quicker, which is like whatever, I don't really care. Then I'll grab this because we for sure need some red down here. Looking a little like you needed it. So for editing, I'm gonna use the laptop mini icon because I edit on Chris's laptop, which is pretty much just like my laptop now, if I'm being honest with you. He doesn't really ever use it because when he comes to bed, he just kind of goes to sleep now. We're gonna use the movie clapper for the YouTube binge, and then where are my scribblers up? We're gonna use Lottie at the big Lottie at the TV for the fact that I watched some Love Island. Okay, edit, YouTube binge, and Love Island. Perfect. Up here, I'm gonna mark that I had a lazy morning. I really, truly just did have some lazy time, which is fine. Sometimes you need to have a lazy morning and you need to just let yourself do it. You know what I'm saying? Then I talked to my dad and went for a walk and watched some YouTube. Okay, so for the lazy morning, I'm gonna just grab Lottie sleeping in her bed because that was me, just kind of dozing off, being a chill girl. just big time chilling. I'm going to use the mini smartphone icon to mark talking with my father. Then I'm going to use the shoes icon for marking going for a walk. And then I will use the other movie clapper for YouTube binge. These icons just keep coming up 2 at a time, and then I just gotta rip them in half. Anywho, so we're gonna mark a lazy AM. Lazy AM, boom. Then we're gonna mark with dad. And then I'm gonna mark a YouTube binge. And, oh, I missed my walk script. Here she is, walk. Then here, I'm just like, laugh every time I look at my other spread that I just didn't put any script on the label. So silly. This is gonna be mark reading. And then I will mark my oops nap. And that I watched some TV, AKA Love Island. Because it has a chokehold on me. Okay, so for reading, we're gonna grab Lottie with her stack of books. Then for taking the nap of mistakes, I'm gonna grab the bed icon from the mini icons sheet. Then for TV time, we're obviously gonna grab the TV from the mini icons sheet. I'm like, where is it? I'm like, I know I still have one available. Okay. Here that is. We are gonna grab a read script. We're gonna grab an oops nap, and then I'm gonna grab the TV time from the foil bundle, so that will be in font choice 4. Okay, that's everything for the first half. Moving into the second portion of this spread, we will be grabbing this and a blue box. So for work, I'm gonna grab the retro computer, and then for reading, we'll grab the headphones because I was listening to audio. And I'm just gonna grab a work and a read script. Work and a read, just like that. Then down here at the bottom, like we're a little bit too zoomed in there. There we go. We're gonna mark filming, baking, McDonald'sing, and Love Island. Duh. Okay. So for filming, I'm gonna grab a camera of sorts. Boom. And then for baking, I'm obviously gonna grab the stand mixer. Then for McDonald's, we will grab the fast food icon from the mini icons sheet. And for Love Island, we're just gonna grab a heart from the mini icons sheet. We've gotta grab a film script, a bake script, we've gotta grab a McDonald's, and a Love Island. Okay, moving into Friday. We're gonna grab red to mark hibachi. Then I will use this like brown rounded box to mark work. And then I will grab the blue label to mark read. So for hibachi, I am gonna use this like place setting icon from the doodles. For work, we're gonna use the laptop. And then for reading, I'm gonna use the mini book icon. Perfect. Got read. We've got work. And we've got hibachi, baby. Hibachi's so good. I wish it was there right now. There and hot pot. Then I'm gonna use this to mark that our Gen Con badges came in the mail. Then I will mark that. I'm gonna just do this in a different order so that I can use the right things. Takeout for McDonald's or whatever, and then that's gonna be to mark a game night. So for the badges coming in the mail, I am in fact going to use something. I'm gonna use the playing card mini icon because like it's Gen Con badges, you know what I'm saying? So I think that works out good. Then for getting takeout, I'm gonna use the other fast food icon that came in the foil bundle. And then for game night, we'll use Lottie with her cards. Then I'm gonna use a badges script. We're gonna use the takeout from the foil bundle, so that's gonna be in font choice 6. And then game night on my custom multi. Night game. Bada bing, bada boom. Then on Saturday, I am gonna mark working, get the car wash, and reading. For work here, we will use the stickers sticker because you know I like making stickers. And for reading, we'll grab Lottie with her headphones on. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. We'll grab a work script and a read script. Then Chris brought me home the Panda Express this day. In fact, this was the day. Watched some YouTube and I was tired AF. Okay, so for Chris bringing home Panda, I'm going to use the car icon from the mini icons because like he brought it home to me. For YouTube, I'm going to use the YouTube laptop. And then for being so sweepy, I'm going to use the little face mask. Blue on blue right there. Okay, so I'm going to use the fast food icon from the script sampler, or from like the foil bundle sampler thing. It's going to be in font 5. I'm going to use YouTube Binge for my custom emote. And then I'm going to use the Tired as Fuck from the foil bundle, which is in font choice 5. Cool. Moving into Sunday, I did work and read. So for working, we're going to use the planner sticker, which is going to be in the blue color. And then for reading, we're going to have the books, which is also in the blue color. Excuse you. Grab this for read. I almost put that under work. And this for work. And then I did run those errands and stop by Dairy Queen. We did go and have game night at Andrea's house. And then when I came home, I watched some telly, you know. Okay, so for me grabbing Dairy Queen, I'm gonna use the car icon because I drove to Dairy Queen. Then for our game night, I'm gonna use the meeple. And then for TV YouTube situation, I'm gonna use the big fat, like retro looking TV. DQ. Game night, which I'm going to tear in half to make it stackable. And then I'm going to use the YouTube Binge from the foil bundle, which is in font choice 4. It's all good in the hood. We'll just do that. There we go. That is everything. Let us zoom on out. Sometimes it's fun to use like a kit that's not like this is even particularly old, but it's like not super your colors. I feel like this came out so pretty. And I had such like low expectations for it. But this is everything, friends. Let me know what you think down below and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.